start now. Let me do that. All right. What's up, everybody? Okay. My name is Johnny Tran. This is Creative Buzz Podcast, a glimpse into the local arts hive mind. And we do this every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And we're covering the arts and culture scene in San Diego. Today, we will be, first off, we're going to have featured interview guest, Malesha Taylor. She's a vocalist, musician. She'll be here talking about Project Blank. Also, we'll be talking about a bunch of news. Oceanside teen artist sues Target over copyright infringement. San Diego nonprofit takes its arts programming for healthcare workers nationwide. The Belly Up has released a live album for streaming until early August. San Diego Symphony cancels its summer season and delays opening of a new venue. The North Coast Rep Theater launches fundraising campaign in face of COVID-19 crisis. City of San Diego has extended its eviction moratorium. The state of California has issued guidance for dine-in restaurants, and San Diego County has obtained approval for that from the state to reopen dine-in restaurants and in-store retail shopping. And what you just heard was music from our guest, Malesha Taylor. That was a DJ Eli, and the track is called Free, featuring Malesha Taylor. And I will be posting that link on the Facebook event page, and also links to all the resources and sources that I talk about in the podcast today. If you need any of that information, just send me an email, thumbprintgallery@gmail.com. Send me a direct message on Instagram or Facebook. How you guys doing? Right. Oh, I should let you know. Our sponsor is Thumbprint Gallery today. And Thumbprint Gallery was founded in 2009. We curate monthly and pop-up art exhibitions featuring emerging mid-career and established artists with a focus on contemporary pop culture, nostalgia, urban art, and pop surrealism. The gallery seeks to provide an eclectic and engaging atmosphere to view art by bringing people together in appreciation and support of local, national, and international artists. Help us stay in business. Help us hopefully eventually keep our doors open again. Make a donation of any amount to our PayPal, info@thumbprintgallery.com, or Venmo is at Thumbprint Gallery. Check out our current online art exhibition, The Complexity of Light, a solo art show by Carlo Miranda, who we had on the show last week. That was a fun interview. All right, I think I'll just start with the first little story here. So I guess, oh, hey, what's going on? The mother of an Oceanside teenage artist with autism has filed a lawsuit in federal court alleging Target ripped off the boy's sketch-style dot art and designs for clothing and other kids' merchandise sold under Cat and Jack brand. Kristen N. Cooley, in her capacity as guardian of the estate of Nolan Ocean Cooley, brought the lawsuit in Los Angeles federal court alleging copyright infringement of 15 of her son's artworks, each titled Circle Happiness. Message seeking comment from a representative from Target Corporation was not immediately answered. lawsuit alleges that Target had online access to the teen's copyrighted works years prior to launching its exclusive Cat and Jack line for young children in July 2016, and they also contacted the artist in summer 2018. And this lawsuit seeks unspecified damages and attorney's fees. Yeah, so this brings up, I don't know, a kind of an important point in the arts and creativity. Copyright law, it's something that it's not as clear cut as you think. So it's good to be as educated as possible. I think I want to have some kind of a expert or somebody on the podcast to talk about kind of copyright law and what artists need to know. If you guys know of anybody, let me know, or maybe I'll find somebody. But yeah, that was an Oceanside artist, local artist. Yeah, so next up we have San Diego nonprofit takes its arts programming for healthcare workers nationwide. And it's important that we look out for each other as a society during COVID-19 crisis. Some of the individuals that we especially need to pay attention to are healthcare workers doing the important work. So one San Diego arts nonprofit has been doing this through the healing power of the arts and creativity, and is now taking their effort nationwide. This is from the Times of San Diego. San Diego nonprofit began a GoFundMe campaign Friday to help bring free expressive art programs to healthcare workers struggling with anxiety and other symptoms that could lead to burnout in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. The National Organization of Arts and Health is a nonprofit in Hillcrest focused on giving art therapy resources to healthcare workers. The program recently launched called Arts for Resiliency Clinicians, and it will feature artists and art therapists leading interactive projects through videos and virtual sessions for healthcare workers. The pilot program will begin in June with 6 facilities across the nation. And maybe some people are not thinking about this, but the burnout rate for healthcare workers is being exacerbated, as you can imagine. And that's something that we should think about. And this nonprofit is trying to help that. COVID-19 burnout rates for healthcare workers range as high as 44 to 54% for physicians, and similar rates for nurses. And many healthcare experts are warning these numbers will increase as a result of the pandemic. The ARC program will feature interactive art sessions offered through videos in virtual rooms. So yeah, I'll leave a link to that particular local nonprofit in the Facebook event page. And it's important to all of us to support each other as much as we can, including healthcare workers, but also including artists, creatives, creative industry. And one organization you should consider to check out and support is Project Blank. They are presenting what they're calling a Sofa Series. It's a bi-weekly, socially distant set of virtual events. They're virtual galleries, concerts, music concerts, visual artists from around the globe. They are based in San Diego, from my understanding. 100% of the proceeds will go directly to participating artists. Pay what you can. projectblanksd.org is the website. And we're going to be having, as you know, one of the participants of Project Blank Sofa series, Malesha Taylor, will be here with us. And we will be interviewing her about that and many other things. Also, one other thing that you should consider is supporting our sponsor, Thumbprint Gallery, which makes all of this possible. Help us support the arts. Send a donation of any amount to our PayPal, info@thumbprintgallery.com. Venmo is at Thumbprint Gallery. Check out our current art online exhibition, The Complexity of Light, a solo art show by Carlo Miranda. Oh, okay. I'm going to read some of these comments. How's everybody doing? Let's see. Okay, sounds good. All right. Avgola says, what are we discussing today? Or just chilling with the music? Well, we're discussing a whole bunch, so stick around. And probably more music too. Hey, Patricia, how are you doing? Laurence, what's up? King Siam, what's up? King Siam says, drink. I am. Laurence Mikhail, Thumbprint Gallery, going to have a check that out when it's safe. Yeah, for sure. Oh, okay. Malo Dunn says California Lawyers of the Arts. She's referring to possible copyright expert to have on. Maybe I'll reach out to them. F. Gola says, any news on gallery reopening date? I don't know. Maybe for the next show we'll start doing in-store opening, not receptions, but I don't know. I may also want to just wait to see what happens. Not really sure. Sorry, give me 1 second here. No, I don't know if we're going live on Facebook right now, but yeah, I don't know if we're gonna go straight back to the gallery opening again. Huh. Video has ended. Wonder why that is. I guess we're not live on Facebook now. That's all right. No big deal. Laurence Mikhail says, Johnny, should I buy a one wheel? A one wheel? What is that? You mean like a unicycle? I doubt it. Oh, that's interesting. Evgola says, I know some galleries are planning receptions in June with lots of limitations, but actual reception. Interesting. Hey, send me a link or whatever. I don't know. Hit me up and tell me what you've heard. Yeah. I don't know. Just not sure. I want to see. I just kind of want to see what happens first. I don't necessarily want to be the guinea pig, if you know what I mean. But we do have to pay rent. So. Okay, Evgola says, can't wait to see you guys open. Yeah, me too. It's a bunch of stuff you got to do. Actually, I'm going to be going over all the stuff that we have to go through as a retail spot. You're going to have to change your whole business model. Not the whole model. I mean, maybe some businesses, but just you got to post some things up and do this and that. Yeah, I don't know. But of course, the pandemic has been affecting not just Thumbprint Gallery and not just art galleries, but even music venues and whatnot, theaters, music venues. One music venue that has been affected is the Belly Up. It's been closed since mid-March because of the coronavirus pandemic. The Belly Up nightclub has devised a novel way to keep music playing while the 46-year-old Solana Beach venue enters its third month of being shuttered. Billed as a Shark Belly Festival, the online-only event, which launched today, will let fans download 39 complete albums. I think that goes on until early August. I think it's August 4th that it ends, but you can find that at bellyup.com. Nope, sorry about that, bellyuplive.com. And all 39 live albums were recorded at the Belly Up. And some of the names on there are B.B. King, Rolling Stones, Lady Gaga, Green Day, No Doubt, Jimmy Buffett. The 39 artists whose live albums are being released, all with the title Live at the Belly Up, includes 4 Grammy Award winners and I don't know, a whole bunch of other stuff. Ozo Motley will be on there. Zap Mama. Yeah, so bellyuplive.com, because they cannot be open now. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool. I'm going to check that out for sure. And speaking of music venues, the San Diego Symphony's much anticipated July 10th opening of its new $45 million venue called The Shell has been pushed back to the summer of 2021 due to the pandemic crisis. And the move follows the March cancellation of the remainder of the Symphony's 2020 spring season. All 34 concerts in this year's inaugural opening season has been canceled. So San Diego Symphony has canceled its entire summer season. It's too bad, but yeah. How are you guys doing? Gonna see. Kiyosai M says, I'm gonna send Laurent an audio thing for the song. I don't know what he means. You guys working on a project or something? What's up, Joe, Unsung, Laurent Mikel? Great, bro. I don't know what you mean great, but so yeah, have some music venues having some issues. Support your local musicians. One local musician that you should support is Anais Lund. She has a new band, Yes and the No-Nos. Their debut single is set to be released at the end of the month. Find them on Instagram at Yes and the No-Nos. Also support our sponsor, Thumbprint Gallery. We're trying to keep our doors open, or eventually open the doors, and help us support the arts. Any amount will help. PayPal's info@thumbprintgallery.com. Venmo is at Thumbprint Gallery. Also check out our current art online exhibition, The Complexity of Light, solo art show by Carlo Miranda. All right. Cool. So not only music venues are having problems due to COVID-19, theater venues are also having problems. The North Coast Repertory Theater in Solana Beach is one of them, and is hoping to reduce a looming budget deficit due to COVID-19 with a new fundraising matching campaign. An anonymous donor has offered to match donations dollar for dollar up to $100,000 until June 15th. So please consider donating to North Coast Rep Theater in Solana Beach. Give me 1 second here. I want to fix something here on Zoom if I can. I had this all planned out and I screwed it all up. 1 second, guys. All right, cool. I think. Yeah. Yep. There you go. If you guys are worried about not being able to pay rent, being evicted due to the COVID-19 crisis, you're not alone. Many people are worried about that, and that is a serious issue. Luckily, the San Diego City Council has voted to extend an eviction moratorium, and that's designed to protect renters and small businesses struggling financially during COVID-19. The council voted 8-1 to extend its previous moratorium that was set to expire May 31st. It will now go until June 30th. Council members said they understood landlords were struggling too, but that renters were vulnerable to becoming homeless if kicked out of apartments. The moratorium is limited to people having financial difficulties related to COVID-19, such as a job loss, and are able to provide documentation. And of course, this is helpful for everybody. But this also is quite helpful for people in the arts industry. We had recently covered that the California Arts Council surveyed. They showed that COVID-19 crisis and shutdowns having highly detrimental effects on arts-related businesses and workers. The eviction moratorium helps them try to navigate and get their heads above water. So you have until June 30th now. So you extended 1 month as far as not being evicted. So that could help a lot of people. But there are still good things going on in San Diego arts and creativity. One of them is a Monster Mayhem, and that is an online art exhibition, and they have films too. It's put together by Horrorgasm. The Monster Mayhem group exhibition will be showcased in their online gallery on May 15th, which will run through the summer quarter. The theme of the virtual event is any and all monsters in popular culture from film or television. Check out horrorgasmsd.com, HORRORGASMSD.com. Hey, so we're going to be having one of the founders of Horrorgasm, Jennifer Cooksey, will be on the podcast next Wednesday as our featured interview. So yeah, keep that in mind. We do this every Wednesday, Create a Buzz podcast at 7 p.m. Also support our sponsor, Thumbprint Gallery. And we do support local arts and creativity. Help us do that. Send donation of any amount to our PayPal, which is at info@thumbprintgallery.com. Venmo is at Thumbprint Gallery. Check out our current online art exhibition, The Complexity of Light, a solo art show by Carlo Miranda. Right. Oh, what's up, Paul? Hey, so I want to give a shout out to Paul Ekdahl, who had created our new logo. We have a lot of positive comments about that. So that's really great. Thanks, Paul, for that. Paul is a co-owner of Thumbprint Gallery. He's now on the Zoom.
You're welcome.
Now I forgot what we were talking about. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna take a break. I'm leaving you with some music.
I haven't.
Our,
before, but
oh,
well, nice.
sorry about that. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna leave you with some more music from Malesha.
And I was like, oh.
Hold on one second. You gotta stay on mute, dude. There you go. What the heck? Tried to do a bunch of new technical stuff today and got all screwed up, so, but that's all right. You're not on Zoom, you can't see the video. right. Cool. What's up, Carl? How you doing? Welcome back. This is a Creative Buzz podcast. And we're on here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. covering arts and culture in San Diego. I am going to read some of these comments. What's up, DJ Main One? Woomsum Art says, is Johnny going to get nude and start dancing like last time? All right. Carl Cosio, what do you like producing in? You talk about music. I like to use Logic. I use analog keyboards with a bunch of effects pedals and the bass. That's all pretty much all I use. Sometimes turntables, but I sold them, so I guess I can't do that anymore. Yeah, so we were talking about latest news in affecting the arts in San Diego. And one thing that is significant is that the state of California has issued guidelines for dine-in restaurants and bars, and that's significant to us in the arts because those are commonly venues that we use for pop-up art, music exhibitions. Having technical difficulties. I tried to go on Facebook Live, like through Zoom, and it just like it didn't work before, and I pressed something and it stopped working. So super annoying. But anyways, yeah, dine-in restaurant guidelines released by state of California. First off, the guidance specifically states that entertainment and concert venues are to remain closed. This is what it says. This guidance is not intended for concert, performance, or entertainment venues. These types of establishments should remain closed until they are allowed to resume modified or full operation through a specific reopening order or guidance. Establishments that serve full meals must discontinue this type of entertainment until these types of activities are allowed to resume modified or in full operation. So basically what this means is musicians, performers, and other creatives who rely on these venues will continue to be out of work despite the new dine-in restaurant reopening guidelines. The guidelines will significantly reduce capacity, and if these guidelines continue, even when performances are technically allowed, it may still make it less likely that bars, clubs, restaurants, breweries, wineries, and whatnot will be holding the arts-related pop-up events as they have been doing prior to the shutdown. And here are some of the guidelines for dine-in restaurants. Brew pubs, breweries, bars, pubs, craft distilleries, and wineries should remain closed until those establishments are allowed to resume modified and full operation. Unless they are offering sit-down dine-in meals, alcohol can only be sold in the same transaction as a meal. Dine-in restaurants, brew pubs, breweries, bars, pubs, etc. that provide sit-down meals should follow the restaurant guidance below and should continue to encourage takeout and delivery service whenever possible. And they say that these breweries and restaurants and whatnot, if they do not serve sit-down meals themselves, they can contract with another vendor to do so, and that will allow them to serve dine-in meals provided Both businesses will need to follow the guidance. Alcohol is only sold in the same transaction as a meal. Venues that are currently authorized to provide off-sale beer, wine, and spirits should be consumed off premises and do not offer sit-down. Dining meals should follow the guidance for retail operations and offer curbside sales only. Okay, so that's for venues that are currently authorized to provide off-venue sales of beer and wine. I guess they're going to follow the same rules as retail. And producers of beer, wine, spirits should follow guidance for manufacturing operations. Oh, so let's see here. I'm gonna read something here. What's up, DJ Sai? Sumar says, "You making me hungry. Tell Delmar to give me spaghetti." Is he with? Where's Delmar at? Is he over there with you, hanging out? Okay, so I just went over California State guidance, and now I'm going to talk about the San Diego City County. They received approval to go ahead and start in, what do you call it, in-store dining for restaurants and retail. So this is from San Diego.eater.com. Before reopening, restaurants and food businesses will first need to comply with the county's new safety regulations, which includes guidance regarding COVID-19 prevention and a reopening checklist, as well as a San Diego restaurant operating protocol form and San Diego safe dining posters with measures that must be implemented and then posted at public entrances. Required measures include conducting daily thermal or temperature scans of employees, disinfecting high contact touch points such as phones, door handles, and credit card terminals, spacing all tables 6 feet apart if unmovable, installing a barrier or partition to separate tables, mandating that customers wear face coverings when not seated at their table, prohibiting tableside food prep and presentation of food, such as food selection carts and tableside guacamole. So yeah, those are the guidelines. San Diego County. Unfortunately, some restaurants, bars, etc., are having problems complying to these guidelines. It turns out that El Prez in Pacific Beach was shut down a day after it reopened due to non-compliance. So I don't know, maybe it's not that easy. I saw pictures of it. I'm not sure if they really tried, but who knows? We're live on Facebook now, but we're not streaming straight from Zoom as I had planned, so I have to figure that out. I think I just pressed something. Oh well. How you guys doing? So not only bars and restaurants are now able to have in-store customers, also retail is allowed to have in-store shopping. The San Diego Regional Economic Development Corporation and the SBDC have also developed guidelines to help small retail and restaurant establishments reopen. So basically, the SBDC is requiring retail businesses to fill out a form detailing a reopening plan. Retail businesses will be required to print and post this form at their retail locations. I will provide a link to this form along with other resources and sources mentioned in this podcast. The new regulation also allows arts-related retail establishments to begin opening for in-store shopping. Prior to this, only curbside pickup was allowed. This would include art galleries which I've seen several local galleries have started. I guess according to Avgola, there are art galleries that are planning even receptions. Yeah, I don't know where we are on that. We may reopen in June, but I'm not so sure about the receptions, man. I gotta think about that. If you guys have any suggestions or information for reopening Thumbprint Gallery, just send it to email thumbprintgallery@gmail.com or direct message. Okay, so some of the retail guidelines suggested by the SDBC includes adjusting staff levels to adhere to social distancing rules, adjusting work roles of employees to minimize cross-infection between workers, clear signage of sanitation stations, visible mapping of merchandise in order to expedite customer visits. There are also many other guidelines as well, pretty much aimed at minimizing person-to-person contact and expediting in-store customer visits. So, yeah, that's what's up with the in-store and dine-in restaurant guidelines. Question is, will people actually, even if you're open, will they actually come by? Will they want to eat out? And that goes back to consumer demand. I noticed today or yesterday, consumer confidence measures have improved. We'll see. I mean, we're going to find out, have a better picture of it within the next couple of weeks, I'm sure. But yeah, so we just went over County of San Diego's guidelines for reopening. But the city of San Diego is also doing something. They're going to try to help artists. They're seeking applications from interested qualified artists to have their existing artworks considered for purchase by the city. The initiative is officially titled SD Practice. It's designed to support local artists through the direct purchase of existing artworks. And they'll be holding at the city's Civic Art Collection. And proposals are due July 13th. I'll be dropping this link and all other links, resources, sources I talk about in this podcast, Facebook event page. Email me, thumbprintgallery@gmail.com if you need any of this information, or send me a direct message. Speaking of Thumbprint Gallery is sponsoring this podcast. Help us support the arts. Make a donation if you can. Any amount will help to our PayPal, info@thumbprintgallery.com. Venmo is at Thumbprint Gallery. Check out our current online art exhibition, The Complexity of Light, a solo art show by Carlo Miranda. And yeah, read some of these comments. Oh, also, we're going to have Malesha Taylor, the featured interview. Come on by. Stick around. Ungsung Art says, you're doing great. Thank you, man. All right, so I'm going to, while we wait for Malesha, I am going to play some more of her music, if I can. Jeez. Okay. Now I get it. Yeah, this is Malesha singing some opera. So. They're gonna put us off on Instagram. I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna start another live. You're on Instagram. I'm gonna start another one so you can just re-enter. Waiting for Malesha to show up. So we're still waiting for her to show up. Let me see what I can do here about that. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna call her. What's up, Malesha? Now, hold on. I'm getting no sound from you. Hold on a minute.
Sorry, that was my fault. I was mute.
Oh, there. Hold on.
I was saying thank you for that introduction. That was a lovely presentation. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, no worries. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I had to set up my lighting, and I had to get my plant. I had to have my orchid with me to help me be calm.
Nice.
No, it is my favorite flower though.
So everything we tried to set up earlier just fucked up.
What do you mean?
Well, I
The
couldn't
live,
get,
you weren't able to do the live setting?
yeah, it just turned off on me, and I think it's because I shared and I stopped. I'm not sure, man.
When you did
Not
the
sure, but just stop sharing live on Facebook. Now we're going live, but there's no video. So.
Okay, well, you're recording.
Oh
Right.
yeah, we're recording. It's all recorded. Every mistake I made has been recorded.
Well, that's the fun part of live.
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun, right?
Yeah. Technology.
Yep. Oh, I need permission from you to record, but you're gonna send me.
Oh, how do I do that? Oh, I don't even know how to do
I
that.
have.
Yeah. Like.
We all have to figure out every platform now. All
Yeah,
these
I know.
platforms.
This is all new to me. So, anyways, thanks everybody for coming by. We have Malesha Taylor, our featured guest today. She's a vocalist, musician, artist, creative. Yeah, tell us a little bit about your background. You're a singer. How long have you been studying music, and where did you study music? Real fast.
Yes, so I'm a SoCal native from the Inland Empire. For those of you that know the 909,
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm from 909 Inland Empire.
Jeez.
It's almost a cool place now. I mean, the rents are pretty high there now. It's close to
Oh,
it's close to Mount Baldy. You can still get to the beach. You have some diverse suburban life.
mm-hmm.
It's not bad. The IE is not bad. So yeah, I went to Claremont High School, graduated from Claremont High School. I went to Cal State Fullerton for undergrad. I went to USC for grad school, and all studying classical voice.
Mm.
And then I have taught at three colleges. So I've taught at the Claremont Colleges, Scripps College, which is a women's private liberal arts college. I have taught at Cal State San Marcos, and I currently teach at Clark Atlanta University.
Yeah, that's weird. So we've known each other for like how many years? Like 6, 7 years, whatever. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, things go on and on. Like I was just thinking, I did also do a guest lecture at Harvard.
I didn't know any of that. All
And
right.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were so Californian, actually. That's pretty weird.
Yeah, I'm definitely Californian, and
Oh,
it's very obvious here in the South where I am.
nice.
Yes.
So for everybody that doesn't know, Malesha, I guess she's from California, I guess, which I didn't even know, but I know you from the San Diego art, music scene, creative scene. Now she's in Atlanta, right?
Yes. So I've lived in a few cities. I have lived, well, as you know, I'm from the Inland Empire. So I lived in Orange County. I lived in LA County. I lived in San Diego County in Chula Vista. And then before I was in San Diego, I was in Brooklyn, New York for 3 years.
Okay. Hey, I always thought of you as a New York person, but I guess it's not completely the truth.
Yeah, because they always talked about my Birkenstocks and my Cali vibe in New York. Everyone was like, your smile's too bright. You know, you're not a New Yorker. But I brought that New York energy with me when I moved from New York to San Diego.
Okay, so that's what it is.
That's what it was. So I had just come from New York when I moved to San Diego. And before New York, I lived in Budapest, Hungary. I went there on an artist residency first, and then I decided to stay and work with some local musicians.
Mm.
And I taught English there. And I had a really fun bohemian, very inexpensive, very easy to live life in Budapest. It was a paradise.
Wow. That's interesting. I didn't know any of this. Hey, what is the difference between the San Diego arts scene, if there is any that you've noticed, and Atlanta and New York? Like, what is the difference between those?
Wow. I think.
Oh, hold on, audio problems here. You know what? I gotta switch to headphones, I think.
Okay, let's take a break.
Yeah, I got.
You want to do a commercial?
No. Okay, yeah. Tell me the difference between San Diego, New York, Atlanta arts.
All right. So I would say the thing that really can make or break the arts scene in a city, I think, is the economy and the way people consume,
Mm-hmm.
and then the values. So economy and values. So San Diego values tourism. That's what it took me a minute to kind of realize that. But San Diego is a vacation city. So things that appeal to tourists and things that appeal to vacations and conferences and travel, that's the biggest thing to me about San Diego is the vacation lifestyle. So that kind of influences how people buy, and and how people spend their money. And Atlanta does have an international airport. It is a extremely well-traveled airport, but it's not a very big international community, even though it has that traction through the airport. And it is the Bible Belt, so the values in Atlanta are really around church and family.
Oh, okay.
It's a very family-centric town. It's very much about old Christian ways of living and being. It's very traditional, in my opinion, having lived in Brooklyn, New York, and having lived in LA. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have a very urban vibe. It has more of a, it does feel still like the country in many parts of it.
That's interesting. I always thought Atlanta was also urban, but
it has urban flair. You can drive into a vibrant downtown. There's a lot of entertainment. There are, skyscrapers like in a big city. We still have our big Whole Foods with the rooftop and the beer. We have all the things that you see in other cities because it's metropolitan, but the values are not metropolitan.
Would you say the arts and creativity is less progressive? I mean, less forward thinking?
There are some dynamic arts organizations, and there is a sense of the arts in Atlanta, but there's not a strong support from the local government. Mm-hmm. And there's not a strong support from people because segregation is still active in Atlanta. So I think a lot of the choices that people make for culture are unfortunately divided by race and class.
I see.
So there's not a lot of intermingling, and a lot of artists can't really have a lot of traction when their audience is primarily from one direction, right?
Oh, okay. So you think artists are like, you're forced to go into one niche or the other? They have to choose?
You kind of have to find your village and your people in Atlanta, and you kind of stay in that orbit and that silo.
I mean, it's kind of like that in San Diego, but maybe it's more pronounced.
I think what I see similar between the South and San Diego is the conservative politics, which is quite evident in the media, right? Mm-hmm. So this is a red state, and I find San Diego to be a red city.
Right, more or less.
So we have the Reds in the lead, and how we navigate around that as artists is interesting, So I don't find that there's a lot of segregation in San Diego because there's just not enough people of color Maybe there is. I don't know what the collective, what's the demographics in San Diego, like people of color? There probably is more, right? Because of the Latino community.
More than Atlanta? I'm not so sure, but yeah.
Atlanta, I think Atlanta is exactly, if not slightly above half Black.
Oh, I see. Well, there's a lot more Black.
60% Black in Georgia, in Atlanta. I know it's 8% Black in San Diego. So if we're just talking about Black, but as far as people of color, that's something that I just find that the segregation here makes it difficult for an artist to make a lot of traction among a wider audience. Your audience reach is really specific to race sometimes. Quite literally, you can have an all Black audience for everything that you do. And
that's definitely not very common in San Diego, right? Would you say?
And it's the opposite in San Diego. So
I mean, there's some all Black, more or less all Black venues and events, but there really aren't that many.
No, the population is small, and so there were a few places where you would get like a majority Black crowd, but yeah, like what was it? The poetry spot. What is it? The slam poetry group.
Oh,
Black Expression.
Yes.
But it still has some diverse demographic. It's not like pure Black, right?
Right.
So that's the difference here, is that you don't get a lot of crossing of cultures, unfortunately. So I miss that. That's one of the things I miss most about California. Yeah. And then New York it's a higher population, and the foot traffic and the proximity to others in your community is higher, right? So you walk out the door and there's 25 people within a second sometimes. They're just like passing you at once. And in a place like that, you could have an art gallery on your stoop, on your front door.
Wow.
I mean, you have to get a license, but there's just more opportunity to reach people.
People do that? Do people do that?
People get licenses. I don't think it's as easy to do anymore, but you can get a license to street vend in New York and sell any kind of knickknacks, necklaces, artwork, and you can kind of self-create. You can create your own way a lot easier to me in New York. When I moved to New York, I had 5 roommates. I had a small bedroom. I paid $500 a month for it. And I made my way. I always had a roommate because you can.
When was this?
Huh?
When was this? What year?
So I lived in New York from 2009 to 2012.
Okay, right on.
That was good old days, the $500 room.
Yeah. Wow. Right on. Well, it's getting more expensive here, as maybe you've heard from your friends. They're still in San Diego.
I remember what I paid in Chula Vista for my 3-bedroom. I can't even announce it. It's like it's like blasphemy how much I was paying for a 3-bedroom. You know? Yeah. So I remember.
Hey, so now you've gone to San Diego. Okay, San Diego, New York, Atlanta, Budapest. But really, the world is kind of interconnected through the internet now, right?
Yeah.
That's how we're connecting. You're in Atlanta, I'm in San Diego. We're talking live.
Yes.
Probably people from all over the country listening to us right now.
Yes.
So you've joined Project Blank. They're an online kind of a collaborative, I guess. And but they're also based in San Diego. And they started this thing called the Sofa Series. I had just announced it. It's a bunch of performances, art galleries, music, dance, theater. I mean, what is Sofa Series about? what is your role in SOFA series for Project Blank? How did you guys link up?
Yes, so that's a great question because so Project Blank, I have my little, oh, see, that's so bright. You can't even see my, can you see it? Whoa. That's,
Hell no.
I'm going to show you my screen on my little tablet here. So Project Blank is new music or classical new music organization from what I understand.
Okay.
And it's run by Leslie, who I met through UCSD. And I worked with some experimental artists at UCSD. And she was a doctoral student there at the time.
Like visual artists? No, like what kind of artists?
Experimental in music.
Okay, got it.
Yes. And so we stayed in touch. I've stayed in touch with almost all the experimental artists that I met from UCSD. We're still working together. That's how I got to Harvard, actually.
Okay.
Was from a UCSD graduate who is now there on faculty. So this is a UCSD connection. And Project Blank, this SOFA series, is going to feature different vocalists. So I'm one of them, but there will be about 15 or more of us. And it's really cool because you pay what you can to get into the door. And it's ticketed in that way. So it feels like you're entering a door, but you're really just clicking a button.
Yeah.
And then when you enter, you see all of these artists inside that you can, click and listen to via video.
Cool. So just so everybody knows, in case you got lost, Project Blank presents a SOFA series that's a bi-weekly socially distant event, virtual galleries, concerts, featured musicians, visual artists. 100% of proceeds go directly to participating artists, and you can pay what you want. ProjectBlankSD.org. So, yeah, everybody go check that out. And when is your show on, or has it happened, or will it happen? When is your part?
Mine is coming up this weekend, the 29th. Okay. That's in 2 days.
Okay, 2 days. Wait, what day? Friday?
Friday, May 27. I mean, May 29. Sorry.
What time?
That's a great question. Does it have a specific? I'm like, does it have a time? I think it just depends.
I'm sure it's on the website, projectblanksd.org.
I'm on here right now.
Yeah.
It's cool because you go to the page and it says enter the gallery and you have a password and the password gets you in. But if I said there was a time, it says doors open at 9 a.m. on Friday and we'll close at midnight.
Oh, okay.
On the Thursday, 2 weeks later.
Okay. All right.
You basically have a 2-week window to watch all of our videos.
That's pretty cool. I'm going to check it out. Maybe check it out tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I think you missed the visual artists one, but the experimentalists are still on right now.
Yeah, I actually went to school at UCSD, and I remember the art department and the music department. Yeah, they were real experimental, real out there, kind of. I don't know. It vibes with me, avant-garde and all the other stuff.
Yeah, the project I did with them was actually a Space for Art. I don't know if Space for Art is still happening. Is that?
I don't think they closed down. If you guys know if Space for Art is closed down, I don't know, they haven't closed down. I'm pretty sure they haven't. They're still going.
We did an outdoor radio opera on that scaffolding outside, that like big, where they park all the cars on the deck outside. We what Yvette calls a radio opera, and it was visual, audio-visual, multimedia. There was like a screen projecting a film. There was a saxophone player, myself, an actor, And then there was like a booth in the back where you could walk and see like another short film that related to the opera.
Mm-hmm.
And then the audience got to walk onto the set at the end and be a part of the ending. So it was really fun. That was a really good piece. We're gonna do another radio opera again too.
Wow, it sounds pretty crazy. I like that though. I like the interactiveness of it.
Yeah.
So you were on a TEDx. TED.
Yes.
Yeah. How did I just play? Did I just play video? No, I didn't play video of that. I was going to, but I didn't. But like, how did that come about?
Yes. So
What kinds of things have you done with them? You know, future.
in the future, perfect. So TEDx Chula Vista, I participated in 2018. So I'm on my 2-year anniversary right now. And I sang and talked about my career as an opera singer, but also just the breadth of my life, right? Like, part of what I talked about is personal branding and how hard it is to identify yourself when you have a wide variety of things that you've done in life, right? So
You've done a lot of stuff, I guess. A bunch of stuff I didn't hear about. I've known you for like, I don't know, 6, 7 years. I don't even, how long have we known each other? I don't know, a long time. I didn't know anything you told me in the intro. I'm like, oh, I didn't know any of that. I didn't know any of that.
and
Okay.
that
What the fuck?
my whole life is like my parents can't even keep, they're just like, okay, here goes another thing. But that's pretty much what I talk about in the talk, is just how I'm an opera singer, but I do house music, and I've done experimental music, and I've worked with spoken word poets, and I'm a professor. And so it's hard to say, well, what are you? And then it's hard for me to feel like I can give people a definition. And so we talk about labels and bias, unconscious bias in this talk. And I sing 3 different genres just so people can see how we attach a certain psychology just from a genre. So I sing an Italian aria, but I also sing a Lauryn Hill song, and then I sing a jazz standard. And I'm the same person. And is that really a problem?
It's impossible. It's a huge problem.
Apparently it's a huge apparently it makes people just say, oh my God, what
Mind blown.
I don't know what to do with that. And then I talk about African American classical musicians and how hard it is sometimes for us to break barriers, because people can't see us in classical music if they see us as Black, if they see us in hip hop, if they see us in jazz. It's like they can't see classical also.
Interesting.
And so I sang at the end a piece by a San Diego State University professor, Richard Thompson. And he wrote classical music set from the poetry of Langston Hughes.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that. Where was that? Where?
He's still at San Diego State. He's a composer and professor in the music department.
What's his name again?
Richard Thompson.
Richard Thompson.
Yep. So I sang one of his songs that he set by Langston Hughes, and then I walk off the stage. And so the point is, right, you are not what you see. You're not always what you see.
Okay. That's what happened at TEDx. Yeah,
Right.
no, that sounds familiar, yeah. I didn't watch it before this, but I watched it like when it came out. Now I remember.
Yes. So the plug also is I'm doing a podcast with TEDx actually probably sometime next week. So you'll see me pop up again on Facebook Live.
Oh, nice.
Talking with them about my talk, and we're going to play a video of me singing with Jessie Chang. Jessie Chang is the wife of San Diego Symphony, the prior conductor of San Diego Symphony. So she's playing for me on piano, and we're going to do a piece. And that same piece is in the Project Blank that's on the 29th.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Good tie-in.
Great. All this stuff's happening all at once. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's how the world is now.
I know. Yep.
So, me and you have a history. We had a little podcast called Art Speaks,
Yes.
and that was part of your brand.
Yes.
Muse Salon.
Yes.
That's still going on, but I think it's morphed a little bit. What's going on with Muse Salon?
Yes. So
What is Muse Salon?
Muse Salon is a nonprofit organization. And the goal was to bring artists together across disciplines, like we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like you're in the visual arts, I'm in the performing arts. Really to help us to develop a better understanding of how to navigate the creative economy, how to be a hybrid artist that's an artist who has other streams of income, right? Like how to know how to navigate writing grants for yourself or finding resources just to keep your artistic artistic earnings, really, right? Like to sustain yourself and to be relevant in your community, right? And so it's really about arts and arts influence in community and how artists are a part of that influence. You can't leave artists out of any community movement. Any change that happens in society happens with artists.
Yeah.
And so it's really crucial right now for artists to feel not victims or not unneeded, unappreciated, disenfranchised, left behind right now. It's really important for us to come together and put our resources together and shift the narrative of the arts being unuseful. And, we're supposed to starve because we're not really working. All the myths about art should go away. But we as artists have to fuel that, right?
Yeah.
We have to see our value and we have to come together and have those conversations. So Muse Salon started with conversations and you and I stimulated those conversations. And now I'm expanding it into artists being consultants in community. So artists should get paid to come tell, right, the San Diego Foundation about, ways to reach youth, right? Like nonprofits should be able, or nonprofits or any community service organization should see an artist as valuable as a consultant on any community work. So as I'm still shaping more conversations like we've had with Art Speaks, I'm propelling that into active work where artists and strategists and facilitators are in the same room at the same tables, and it's cross-disciplinary. So it's not just siloed all the time. It's not just galleries and museums having conversations without theaters and operas, right? Because we share the same audiences half the time.
Yeah, definite overlap here and there, many times.
We share the same funding. As soon as arts funding, we're like, oh shoot, who's gonna get the Creative Capital grant? Who's gonna get the art residency opportunity? And if we don't know other artists in other disciplines and what they work on and what they produce, and you don't know the full scope of your artwork and how you can branch it out, it's hard to apply for programs like that, right? For grants and residencies when you don't have a broad understanding of your art and your capacity while also looking at what others do as well. So that is Muse Salon. Muse Salon is providing consulting services with artists, strategists, and facilitators.
Right on. Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah. So anyone interested in Muse Salon can reach out to me. I still have the same email. I still have the same phone number. website, musesalon.org. And I'm working on my 501c3 status at the moment. So
yeah, let us know what you have going on. Any other future projects you would like us to know about?
yes. So I had to get permission. I was on the phone earlier. So you know that I used to teach at Cal State San Marcos before I moved. And what's awesome is they are bringing me back to do an exchange program with my students at Clark Atlanta University. And what we're hoping to do is maintain at least a couple of years of doing this exchange back and forth. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we couldn't come this March. I would have been in San Diego.
Oh.
I would have been in San Diego on March 17th. So we had to bump it to the fall. So we're looking at November, and it's most likely going to be virtual depending on, I think, the Cal State's agreed to be virtual.
Cool.
Right? I think
let us know. Let us know about that. We'll announce it or whatever you want.
Yeah, we're going to do some Afrofuturism projects.
Okay.
So, I will keep you posted on that with the students that we incorporate and the projects that we put out. I'll definitely send those over to you.
Hey, so we just played that music video you had.
Yes.
What was the name of it?
The video, She's Coming?
Yeah, She's Coming. Really cool video. I'm gonna play it again after this. But tell us the story behind that. There's a story behind that. It has to do with interdisciplinary arts and creativity, right?
Yes. So what I love most about that video, for those of you that might not know, it is a house track. It's a house production by a DJ named Salah Ananse. And he and I put the song together. And then I have a friend who's a muralist named Charmaine Minifield. She's really well known in the Atlanta community. She does a lot of activist work. She paints amazing murals all over the city, activates a lot of public art space. And so she was commissioned by the city of Atlanta to paint the interior of a 150-foot water tower that sourced the cotton fields in the Auburn district of Atlanta. She painted the interior with women from the Spelman archives. And this was during Reconstruction. So the pictures that you see are women in clothing from that time period. And so we have a muralist, we have the DJ, and then the dancers are from an African and dance and drum group that is all women. And they're also Atlanta based. And they're doing the dancing, and we had our drummers. But what I love most, what makes this piece so unique, is that the audience was actually there for the art unveiling of the mural. Okay. So everyone that you see in the video, we had to give, they signed releases to be in that video. And we pretty much turned that reception into a music video. Nice. And that way, all of us artists pitched in on the project and the expenses of the video. And I just want everyone to know how powerful it is as artists to work with an artist outside of your discipline and be a part of a project like that, especially when it's activating a public space, a historic space, and a space that's being commissioned by the city. And it gives you visibility in a different way. It shows people what your values are when you do public work like that. And it creates more dialogue. So the video is still live. People are still talking about it. It carries a life of its own beyond just being a house track that people dance to. So.
Right on.
Yes.
Cool. Well, Malesha, thank you for taking the time out to come by Creative Buzz podcast. I hope you come by again very soon.
I would love to. It's so good to see you. It's been years. When's the last time I saw you at that pizza spot? What was it, on J Street? What was that spot? that you guys used to do.
Yeah, Bar Basic, 10th and J.
Yeah, Bar Base. Was that the last time I saw you? That's
Probably.
crazy.
That sounds believable.
Bar
Must have
Basic.
been 5, 6 years. I mean, something like that. A long time.
Not 5, 6 years ago. This was 2018, maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I've come home. I have come back to Cali twice, 3 times, maybe 4 times since I moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
So when I popped in, I think it was on a visit. It was on
Okay. I don't remember, but okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, let me know when you're coming back. Yeah, Malesha Taylor, check her out Friday, projectblank.org.
Yes.
Fun.
All right, my friends. Thank you for having me, Johnny.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I'm gonna leave you guys with the music video we were just talking about.
Do you do Q&A on this?
Oh yeah, let me check some messages or whatever. I have a right-winger troll right now on my Instagram. Okay. But whatever, I won't read those. After Dark Creation says Hispanic population is very large. Okay, we were talking about
the demographics.
The Black community in San Diego and how I guess there's a certain voice in Atlanta compared to San Diego. And I think she's responding to that.
It's like
What
night.
do you say about that? Because we have quite a Hispanic arts community, creative community, voice. It's very individual or very, it's very recognizable. I don't know. Do you see any parallels?
It's very distinct, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do see a parallel in that it's historic, right? Is that like Chicano Park, like?
Yeah, she's just saying in San Diego in general.
You're saying like, is there a relation between the Black art scene and the Latino art scene?
Yeah, in San Diego, yeah, pretty much.
That's why I would say I think it's about history, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, the Latino history, the Chicano history in San Diego is very strong, and it's still being maintained by a vibrant community.
Mm-hmm.
And same in Atlanta, we have a vibrant Black historic community. The good thing about, we have the HBCUs, mm-hmm. We have Black-owned businesses. Atlanta is a mecca for Black entrepreneurship. So yes, I do see a relation in the historic, the cultural connection to history in those cities. Yes.
Right on.
Yeah.
Oh. What else we got here? After Dark Creation says, Bar Basic, miss those shows. Bar Basic, we just talked about that. After Dark Creation says, yes, our Hispanic population is large and active in the arts. Yeah, so it's obviously true, especially Barrio Logan.
Yes. I miss Barrio Logan. What was that spot? There was the cool Chicano art gallery.
Well, there was Chicano art gallery. There's La Bodega.
Yeah.
There's
a couple.
There's more.
There was a jam session on Wednesdays that was cool. At that cool, what was that taco spot? Was that La Bodega? No, there was another good taco spot that would have events in the back.
Wait. Shit.
And it had pictures of ancestors.
The brewery, what is the name of that brewery?
Yeah, it was a brewery, that spot. Yeah.
I can't remember. Border X. Yep. And there's Salud Tacos. I don't know. No, that's not. Somebody says Salud Tacos, but that's not who it was.
That taco. Yeah, but what was the amazing taco spot right there on the corner that had a line all the time?
Oh, Salud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Did you remember Vol Salta, they had a jazz jam there. Super famous.
Yeah, I went there a few times. I don't like 4 times.
Nice. Did you do some music there or just hang out?
Yeah, I sang. I sang a couple of. I sang a bolero.
Nice.
Yeah, I sang in Spanish over there, and everyone was
Holy
like.
shit.
And then it was almost blasphemy. It was like, okay, you gotta go. Like next.
What? No, not a good response, or?
It was a mixed bag. You know
Oh.
what I mean? It's culture. You know, it's culture. I get it. It's heritage. You know.
Yeah.
So I just sang Besame Mucho. It wasn't anything like.
Oh, I see. Well, hey, for everybody that doesn't know, because there's a lot of younger people on Instagram, Vol Salta was probably the first art gallery in Barrio Logan, way before Thumbprint Gallery. Yeah, I used to go there, checked out the Jazz Jam, Thumbprint Gallery, collaborated with Vol Salta on one show there. And they had to close down. I think when we were looking around for another spot, we looked at that spot. We almost went there, but we didn't. But yeah, Vol Salta, piece of San Diego art history, very important.
Yeah, you saying Voz Alta, and there's then there's what was the other what was that cafe that was like historic? Because
I don't know.
the author, what's the author, Gabriel Marquez?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Didn't his grandmother like?
Did his what there? Did his what there?
His grandmother used to be in that space.
Are you serious?
On the top floor. What's the name of that cafe? What was that?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I had no idea about that.
Luna Cafe or Cafe Luna or?
I have no idea what that is. Like, yeah, I don't know. I studied his works in college, so I know who he is.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I never heard of that.
Let's Google and make sure I'm saying the right person, the right cafe. But I remember someone.
The writer, right? The writer, the historian. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
Very important.
Yeah.
Cool.
All
well,
right.
anyways, that was fun. Come back on the podcast. Let us know everything you're doing.
I will. Everyone stay up. Stay up, artists.
Yes. All right. We're going to leave you with DJ Eli. Is that how you say it? The Jelly.
Oh, you're Jelly. It's
I fucked everything up this whole time.
Jelly. That means that is the French for griot, or griot, or like the African spiritual singer in the villages of West Africa. So it's an African word. Yes.
All right. So right on. This is the music video for that.
Yeah.
Say the name again.
Jelly.
She's Coming. Yeah, the song's called She's Coming, organic mix. Featuring Malesha Taylor, and this is all footage from a art exhibition reception.
The Water Tower.
In Atlanta. All right, cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everybody. Talk to you soon.
Yes, enjoy.